It's Homebrew coming at you. It's winter. It's getting cold. It's mid-November. But I have what promises to be a great beer. This one comes from Intermezzo 1257. And Mark, thank you. This promises to be a great beer. I've heard so much about it. This is from Great Lakes. It is the Edmund Fitzgerald Porter. And it's a 5.8% porter. It is made with Harrington 2-row, Crystal 77, chocolate malt and roasted malts, and the hops are Northern Brewer, Willamette, and Cascade. Now, I apologize, Intermezzo, because I did not realize that the hop character was a big part of this beer. And I've had this in my hands for 4 or 5 months. It's 180 days. They say it's good, but I would like to have had it a little sooner, so I do apologize for that. Nevertheless, this is a highly rated porter. Let's get it cracked open. I'll show you the pour and I'll tell you the little story. This is named after the great ship, the Edmund Fitzgerald, that sank in Lake Superior in, I believe, 1975, and passengers went down with that. It was a tragic thing. They named it after the grand ship, and this is bearing a small head on it. It's a kind of a thin head. It's a tan color. It's pretty dark. It's pretty much black, I would say. There might be some brown hues as I look at the top, but it's pretty dark. Let's get a nose on it. Well, it has some nice scent on it. You know, it's a porter, and so you expect to be lighter, but I'm getting some chocolate, coffee, roast. Ooh, the chocolate's like a dark chocolate and like a semi-sweet chocolate. Has a nice sweet undertone along with the roast in it, which is very nice. And I'm detecting coffee, not espresso, but I'd say more like a coffee. Yeah, just like a dark roasted coffee, you know, nothing added in there, just nice and clean. Very nice smell. It seems kind of straightforward in the aromas, although I think I'm getting some hop quality still. You know, I feel like there was a hint of citrus in there almost or something. Northern Brewer is perfect for porter. Willamette's very good too. Cascade's an interesting twist on that. So anyway, cheers. Let's get a try on this. Oh, that's very nice. Wow. Oh, all right. I know I need to let this warm quite a bit more than I did, but I've got to tell you right off the top, this hits a lot of my happy buttons for porter right away. Some great roasted malt quality, but it blends in really tightly with the chocolate flavors. And the chocolate, and it's a dark roast malt, mind you, is how it comes across. So I'm going to think that they use some darker roast when they say roasted malts. The chocolate flavors are interesting because I get kind of a dark chocolate flavor. I get kind of like a semi-sweet baker's chocolate type flavor. And the coffee, and it all blends together. I mean, it's pretty clear. Those are kind of the flavors that you're getting. But you get a little bit of like a little bit of a bitterness. It's not harsh or anything that comes from the hops on it. Not heavy, not super bitter. It just kind of deepens those chocolate flavors. Probably that's partly what gives it that bittersweet chocolate taste. Very nice. There's just the slightest bit of like a creaminess to the texture. I'd say it's more smooth and almost slick a little bit. It somewhat dries off in the palate though, I'd say, at the backside. So kind of a dry finish, but it's kind of fun. It leaves a light bit of bitterness, a light bit of like dark chocolate and coffee, just the slightest hint of some like dark brown bread, you know, like pumpernickel. Just a hint of that. All right, I'm gonna warm this up more and I'll be right back. All right, let it warm a bit, and it's kind of interesting. Now that it's warmed and I'm swirling it, take a look at that. Look at the head that's building on that. Look at the legs coming down off the side. It's not gonna really leave much in lacing, but it leaves some legs coming down the side, and it's just really become a creamy, beautiful head. I mean, points for appearance at this point, now that I've got it at the right temp. Important thing there. And I'm gonna get another nose on it. It's interesting, I pull out some, almost like a hint of like molasses, like a blackstrap molasses on that. Yeah, I definitely think that's there. Yeah, and that picks up a little bit for my nose anyway. And you know, I've never heard anyone describe this that way, but boy, I'm sure getting that. And the chocolate's not as strong; it's more mellow. The coffee's mellowed a bit. Let's get a taste on it. Oh, I like it much better. It's a lot smoother. It's a lot more mellow. I get a little more of that earthy tones of the hops that I might have expected from the Northern Brewer. That's nice. I get a little more creamy texture on it. I don't know why. I keep thinking like I get a hint of peanut butter. I don't know why. I feel like I get some peanut in there. Yeah, interesting. Very interesting. But very nice. It's interesting though because it's such a dark taste, either like dark roast or because of the hops adding that bitterness kind of creates an extra bitterness, makes it extra dark somehow. So some qualities almost make me think of a black ale on this one, which is interesting for a porter to have that kind of quality. Yeah, I mean, it's so the roasted malts almost give some like burnt quality to it, which is interesting, you know. It's just a hint of it there, but yeah, almost like a really darkly roasted, almost to a burnt quality on it. I have to say, one of the things I find fascinating is that how much flavor there is on this beer at 5.8%. I mean, high marks for that, because this has got to be one of the most flavorful 5.8, type beers I've had in quite a while. Okay, ratings. So first we go with style, and that's the porter. Interesting, I don't feel like it classically follows a porter taste somehow. It just has some of those darker notes. It's just, I don't know, a little different in several different categories and the amount of hops that go into it and so forth. So when I think of a porter, it doesn't quite meet those qualities exactly. So I can't rate it as high as a porter, honestly. I mean, I think it's a really good beer, but Guy, it's right at the A-B+ for me as far as the porter goes. So I'm going to put it right at a 90, right at that center line. Overall, though, you got to take into account, again, just the quality of the appearance, the quality of these flavors at 5.8%. And I like those dark, roasty flavors and deep flavors, which are very nice. So overall, I'd say this is an excellent beer. I'm going to give it a 93. I hope I haven't disappointed in you, because I know this ranks really high, but that's my honest opinion. This is the Great Lakes Edmund Fitzgerald Porter, a wonderful beer. It is, I believe, a year-round offering. So for any of you fortunate enough to be able to get it year-round, cheers to you. And if you aren't able to get it, trade for it. I think it is worth trading for. I think this is a very, very good beer. Probably go up on my wall of fame. And again, I want to thank Intermezzo for this. And this is Kevin from Clements Homebrew saying, life's too short to drink cheap beer, and I will see you in the next beer review.